Okay, hello, dear friends. Good afternoon. It's such a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. Bright sunshine, and I feel the air is cleaning off a little bit. And I see the sky is blue. And I am improving myself with my English pronunciation. And this is the third time I do the reading, but internally at home I have done much more. And I want to see how much I can improve this. Thank you very, very, very much to correct my pronunciation. And anytime, not only within my reading video, I hope you can correct me in any random time. Anytime you hear something that is not the correct way of pronunciation, please correct me. And I also hope that every one of us, if you listen to my video, take this opportunity as a study session, as a thinking session. Why Yang Haiying pronounce this way? Why I pronounce another way? Why a foreign speaker speak a certain way? Why native speakers speak a certain way? Why the same word spoken by a Chinese is a way, Korean is a way, and Japanese and American, African, South American, Latino, French, any other country, because we are rooted with our native language. Some of the songs we learned as a mother tongue, so we learn it much. It becomes part of our developed estate. It's one of our estate, is one of our inborn thing. It's not genetic change, but it becomes something that marked in our way of pronunciation. And this recently I heard some radio and things. There was one lady, for example, the sample was one lady, and she could not speak. She has the ability to talk, but their area was in Amazonian or in an area that was not using language to communicate. Then she could not speak. And our learning has a certain time period, a certain phase of our life is devoted or is the best for learning a particular things. And they have done a study, truth or not, I am not very convinced that learning language, there was a window before 10 years old something. I am not talking about learning a foreign language. It's about learning a language to use your vocal cord, to use your voice, to express any sounds out. And there was a window for it. And if you miss that window, that part of neuron, that part of brain, or that part of our brain cell will shut down the development and will not have chance to redevelop again. Then they have to develop a language. Sorry, I must be talking too much. And it's very interesting. And also another interesting fact is that if we keep on learning, if we are interested, no matter passionate or not, if we are interested in something and enthusiastic into something and passionate about something, we can develop our skill in that particular area. And our brain will cope with our interest and develop our ability, develop our mental capacity on that part. So not only I am improving my learning, I am also making myself into a guinea pig. Guinea pig. I'm making myself into an experimental model, example. How much at the age of the very, very ripe age of my age, and half of our natural human life or normal human life has already been gone through my age. And in the later part of my life, how much can I improve? And what is the limit of my improvement? That will be very interesting to try on myself, to see my brain development. And I have internet to prove me, and I have YouTube to prove me. I started making YouTube video 10 years ago in 2007, and I can make a comparison. 2007, my pronunciation, and now my pronunciation. That will be so interesting, and this idea fascinates me. So here is my own experiment of evolution, the evolution of my sound, of my pronunciation, by me, myself, and I. Okay, so thank you very, very much. Please correct me anytime, and see anything wrong, see anything not pleasant, and see anything that is my way, not your way. Please speak out. You are not only improving me, but also you are feeding me with what I am interested, the linguistic variety, the linguistic nuance and interest in different people. A lot of people can accept me, and a lot of people, I mean linguistically or in pronunciation, a lot of people accept me and even say that is that makes me unique. I totally agree with you. And a lot of people, some people feel it is foreign. Why you feel foreign? Is there any correlation with your moral standard, with your behavior standard, with your way of accepting the world? Some people are more rigid, more rigid and more stubborn and more honor to their own value and more honest to their own true value. And some people are more open-minded and more flexible and more loose and more lousy in those kind of right or wrongs. I use both positive words and negative words in both characters because that's character. And character is a character. Personality is a personality. It is what we interpreted them to make it positive or negative. Do I make any sense? What we say is what we say. What other people see is the reflection of what we say through their mind. And what we hear other people is actually already processed information through our inborn, through our innate character, value, moral standard, etc., etc. Okay. Without further ado, here is the reading. This fundamental subject of natural selection will be treated at some length in the 4th chapter, and we shall then see how natural selection almost inevitably causes much extinction of the less improved forms of life and induces what I have called divergence of character. In the next chapter, I shall discuss the complex and little-known laws of variation and of correlation of growth. In the 4th succeeding chapters, the most apparent and gravest difficulties on the theory will be given, namely, first, the difficulties of transitions, or in understanding how a simple being or a simple organ can be changed and perfected into a highly developed being, or elaborately constructed organ. Secondly, the subject of instinct or the mental powers of animals. Thirdly, hybridism or the infertility of species and the fertility of varieties when intercrossed. And fourthly, the imperfection of the geological record. In the next chapter, I shall consider the geological succession of organic beings throughout time. In the 11th and 12th, their geological distribution throughout space. In the 13th, their classification or mutual affinities, both when mature and in an embryonic condition. In the last chapter, I shall give a brief recapitulation of the whole work and a few concluding remarks. No one ought to feel surprise at much remaining as yet explained in regard to the origin of species and varieties, if he makes due allowance for our profound ignorance in regard to the mutual relations of all the beings which live around us. Who can explain why one species ranges widely and is very numerous, and why another allied species have a narrow range and is rare? Yet these relations are of the highest importance, for they determine the present welfare and, as I believe, the future success and modification of every inhabitant of this world. Still less do we know of the mutual relations of the innumerable inhabitants of the world during the many past geological epochs in its history. Although much remains obscure and will long remain obscure, I can entertain no doubt, after the most deliberate study and dispassionate judgment from which I am capable, that the view which most naturalists entertain, and which I formerly entertained, namely, that each species has been independently created, is erroneous. Erroneous. I am fully convinced that species are not immutable, but that those belonging to what we are called the same genera are lineal descendants of some other and generally extinct species. Extinct species. In the same manner as the acknowledged varieties of any one species are the descendants of that species. Furthermore, I am convinced that natural selection has been the main, but not exclusive, means of modification. Okay, this is the end of the reading, and if you bear with me until now, I really appreciate you. Correct me, help me to improve me, improve you, improve us all. We are a good family. We love each other, and love means to make us all better off. I love you, I really do. Do. Bye bye.